Have you ever thought that you might be a starseed? I always had an idea that I might be, but in a past hypnosis session, I learned that I am. Keep watching to learn all of the details and to see actual excerpts from my hypnosis session. Hi, I'm Alexandra, and I'm excited to empower you to embody your electric radiance. Join me as we explore spiritual and metaphysical topics that will spark your third eye open and connect you to the universe. For those of you who are my regular subscribers, you might have been wondering where I've been all these many months, as I've been absent from this channel for quite some time. Unfortunately, my mom was going through a lot of health issues and ultimately passed a few months ago. And during that time, I acted as her caregiver and primary patient advocate, and then took extra time in my grieving process, which I am still going through. And if you happen to be going through anything similar mental health wise, I'm sending you lots of love and healing energy. It's important that we all take time for our mental health. But let's get back to the starseeds and the hypnosis. Those of you who follow me know that I practice beyond quantum healing, which is a hypnosis practice that delves into not only past life regression, but future lives, parallel lives, meeting your guides, talking to your higher self, accessing multidimensional energy and healing, and more. I actually had my own BQH session conducted for me by my friend and colleague, Heather Hink. And if you want to see the full hypnosis session, you can check out her YouTube channel, and I'll put a link in the description. So one thing that you do before a BQH session is to talk about your goals for the session so that the practitioner knows what questions to ask as they're guiding you through the hypnosis. And one thing that I wanted to learn for this was more about my past life as a Sumerian priestess. How do I know I'm a Sumerian priestess in my past life? Check out my 5 ways to remember your past lives video. I'll put a link in the description. So let's dive into the session right now.
So, are there any past lives that we should visit?
I see myself in like a white garment, like a sleeveless white dress, and long dark hair. I look quite similar to how I look now, but a little bit different. It seems like my nose is a little bit larger, just more prominent. And it seems like my eyes are more sparkly. They're darker and sparkly and a little bit larger than my eyes now.
So I'm actually bringing in this past life knowledge by channeling my higher self through this hypnosis session. But I wanted to learn more about that priestess life as I'm stepping into my priestess hood in this lifetime, as I know that was a really important time for me in my lifetimes.
They're taking me to a different location. It's like the inside of a temple, but it's very like gray. It's almost metallic. It's like not like a stone temple. It's like it has a like peaked roof. It's pointed at the top, so the ceiling comes to a peak, maybe 20 feet above me. It seems like there's a tiny, tiny little hole in that peak, just letting in. It's so you can look at a particular star when it comes overhead, and that particular star, when it does align will shine down and illuminate the inside of this temple. So, in between the pillars are alcoves, and small alcoves. You can't necessarily stand up. These alcoves are for coming like in a crouched position, in like an upright fetal position. It brings you back to a womb presence, and this womb presence is what you want to mimic when you are bringing in this direct knowledge. This direct knowledge comes straight from the stars. That knowledge comes in, and it's a sort of initiation that you must go through in order to be elevated to a higher level. And
surprisingly, though, when I was taken back into the regression to learn more about the Sumerian Priestess lifetime, I actually ended up further back than ancient Sumeria and on another planet.
Do you know what planet you're on?
I mean, I'm hearing Arcturus.
Are you an Arcturian Starseed?
They're saying I'm definitely Arcturian Starseed. There's no doubt about that. They're saying I'm multiple Starseed. Like I have been in many galactic families, past and future. They're saying that this incarnation that I'm being shown here is definitely directly related to the Sumerian priestess, that she was drawing in this knowledge.
Very good. And are you going to be able to bring more of that knowledge forward in this lifetime?
They're saying, yeah, absolutely. They're saying here in this life that they're showing me that I'm a great wisdom leader, and that I'm leading others, I'm teaching others, I'm there to guide the others how to do this, and that actually the direct knowledge that I'm receiving in this life here, that I'm seeing, is actually from another life and another even higher dimension. So it's important to note that this knowledge is not proprietary. This knowledge is not meant to be just ingested by one person. It's important that this knowledge is given to others in order to access the wisdom themselves, because if they're just told things, then it becomes dogmatic and it takes away from the actual spiritual wisdom that's meant to come in. Now, what's interesting to note is that this knowledge also has been downloaded into human lives, and in fact, your own past life as a priestess, and other past lives as a sage and as a mystic. This knowledge is coming from a higher dimension, and humans have just tried to mimic it to the best of our ability, but obviously it's not the same in a 3D reality. There are some Hindu temples that do mimic this type of structure, that they do have some peaked structured places, temples, that do have this type of architecture. And when you are in an architectural location that has this peak, and this peak is coming up, and then this energy comes down and then filters out throughout the alcoves, when you are in this type of structure, then the downloading of this information comes even easier. This ancient culture was downloading this information, and they were having memories of these other lives where these metal temples, and it's a very strange metal. It's the closest it would be something like platinum. It can also be fluid. when it needs to be. So that's very interesting. In order to download this information from the side alcoves, and you want to be in this fetal position, and they're saying this is why many ancient cultures buried their dead in the fetal position, anywhere from Peru to Turkey. These fetal position burials were because they were having these past recollections of these other lives, and they might not even be past, they could be future. Just think of them as parallel. But they were downloading this information and knowing that when you are placed in this fetal position in this alcove, you will download information. So it would only make sense to bury your dead in this fashion so that they could continue to download that knowledge, even though the spirit really wouldn't be there anymore.
So during this session, we actually went through quite a few things. Meeting my guides, healing for my physical body, as well as past life regression. So are you a Starseed? Let me know in the comments below if you think that you're a Starseed, or you know you are a Starseed, where and what planets you're from, and how many lifetimes you've spent in the past, future, or parallel to now as a Starseed. If you like content like this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I'll see you next time.